Welcome back to the fields of Perthshire. We have on the right, we have Paul Fletcher, we have Sneaky Pete, and over on this side we have Martyn on the horizon just over there. So this field, we were in it last week, we got I think 3 silvers, and we've had a few other nice bits and bobs. As you can see, it's been partly ploughed. So we've got a half and half. We've got stubble and we've got freshly ploughed. So we're going to see what we can turn up. Fingers crossed. My God, this ploughed soil isn't half hard to walk on. It was just ploughed yesterday, so it's really soft, hard on the knees. But we got our first good digging signal. Pretty loud one. Let's see what we get. Well, we're out the hole. Somewhere here. Is there? We've got a something green. What is that then? What is that? It's kind of like a wishbone sort of shape, isn't it? Alright, not sure about this one. Might be a relic of some description. Feels quite heavy. Could be bronze, maybe? Or a really heavy copper alloy. Let's give it a clean up and see. Well, I'm really not very sure about this one. Giving it a wee rub-a-dub on the trousers. Could it be horse related? Part of a stirrup, or part of the mechanism for the, what do you call the bit that goes in the mouth? The bit, or part of the reins, something like that. It's almost as if maybe there was a bit of leather in there with a pin through it, something. I don't know. What do you reckon? Let me know. It certainly looks like it's got a bit of age to it. Well, Pete's just shouted from 20 metres away to say that he's got a coin right on the surface. That can happen sometimes with the plough. It drags the new things right to the top, and 2 seconds later I get a signal and I don't need to dig because it's right on the surface. Looks like I've got a piece of lead, and I think this could be a child's toy soldier, or the lower half of him anyway. Let's give it a wee clean up and see. Well, it's the best I can do, and it is definitely a child's toy soldier, although he has been through the wars. He has lost pretty much from his belly button up the way. There has been a maker's mark on the bottom, but it's just illegible now. Most of it's missing. It is made of lead. I'm guessing it's probably going to be sometime around the 1930s, 1950s. Well, we've got another good one. Not bad. Let's give it a go. Well, I've just seen the flash of green, and it is circular. There. And we might have our first coin. Oh, it's a thin one. If it's a coin, it could be quite an early one. Let's see if that mud's going to come out. There we go. Damn. Looks like it's a bloody button. See that in the middle there? That looks like where the shank was. Well, I'm not sure about this one. It's definitely coin-like. It's very, very strong. I tried to bend that far side and it's not for moving. Does it look like a circle in the middle where there's been a shank? I'm not sure. It is, you know, it could easily be an early, you know, William and Mary or Queen Anne or something like that sort of coin, or even an old Charles the First or Second possibly, but I can't see any detail on it. And I don't know, I think we'll have to go with a button slash coin, but I'm thinking more button. Well, another one right on the surface, and this one is 100% a button. You can see the loop on the back just there. Can't really get that off with one hand. Looks like we've got a bit of lettering, but more importantly on the other side we've definitely got some decoration. Could be a military button, could be a livery button. It looks like it's got potential to look good though, so let's see what we get. Well, we've definitely got some writing on the back, but it's not possible for me to figure it out yet. However, on the other side, look at that. That looks like it's going to come up to be a good button. We have got a cannon in the middle, and then above we have a crown. So I think this is the Royal Artillery, or were they called the Royal Horse Artillery? Or maybe that's two different regiments. But either way, this is an old military button. Date wise, I think it's pre-First World War. I think it's maybe even around the time of the Boer War, or around the time of Britain's campaigns in Africa, which would put it sometime, I don't know, 1890s to the early 1900s, 1910. Let me know in the comments, but I'm very, very happy with that. Well, the button was there. No, it wasn't. It was there. And I've walked all of 2 steps. Sounds similar to the last button, so let's see if we're going to get a matching pair. Well, we've got another button, but it is tiny. Absolutely tiny. It took me an eternity to find it. Still got the loop, and I've dropped it. Oh. So still got the loop on the back, and it is decorated. It looks like it's been gold gilded at some point, but it's got this little flower in the centre and these pairs of lines coming out from either side. Date wise, not sure on this one. Probably 1850s, sort of Queen Victoria, that kind of era, I would think. Could be earlier though, and I would say looking at it, it's probably a lady's button. But then again, I suppose it could be from a man's waistcoat. And it does look like it's been gold gilded, so it would have been quite highly decorated. But it's another good find. Always better than finding a bog standard plain button. Right, I'm giving up on the ploughed part of the field, and I'm going to head into the stubble because it's killing my legs. Now, I think we've got a good one. That is either a coin or a big lump of aluminium, but it does sound good. Maybe too good. Well, it wasn't deep, and I just spotted a circular thing come flinging out on that last spadeful. And I think we have got our first coin. Well, he's a little bit crusty around the edges. He's also getting rained on, but it's Georgius V, by the grace of God, King of the Britons, Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India. And it's a 1 penny, George V. And it is 1913, so 1 year before the outbreak of the Great War, the war to end all wars, World War I as we now call it today, because we didn't learn our lesson when we had World War II. Well, it didn't sound in the slightest like a coin, but it's a coin. You can just make out the words Fid, Def, Ind, Imp. So that's Defender of the Faith, Emperor of India, or Empress of India. Which means it's pre-1947 because India left the British Commonwealth, or not Commonwealth, British colony in 1947. So it's pre-1947, so it's not a spendable. And it is, God knows what, it looks like it's been set on fire. I would guess it's going to be a farthing, which is a quarter of a penny. Chances are it's probably going to be Queen Victoria or George V, I'm guessing. Well, here is Pete's finds in the pouring rain. And he's got a little bullet thing, he's got a few furniture fittings. This looks like part of a door handle. Oh, he's got something in his wee finds pot, that means it must be good. Right, anyway, spoon handle, tomback button, so that's going to be 17 into the 1800s, and a wee tag of some description, of a bit of furniture maybe, a little bit as well, and a wee coin. This is the one he got on the surface. George the 5th, looks like a halfpenny, which is going to put it in the early teens or the 20s, 1920s. There you go. And oh look, he's also got pretty similar to what I got, which is what looks like a coin. It could be a button, but this one definitely looks like a coin. Any detail on it?
I couldn't see anything earlier.
So can't really see anything. It's paper thin, like a copper hammered coin, but the weather's atrocious and I'm not going to be able to dry that enough to see if there's any detail, so we'll need to come back to you if there is any more detail. There's what we're up against at the moment. I think some of us will be calling it quits just shortly, but if not, maybe I'll carry on my own. Now here's the extent of Martyn's finds. He's got, looks like a bit of kind of lead furniture decoration or bronze furniture decoration. A big circular aluminium tag. He's got himself a, that's a button. He's got a bit of a silver spoon. It's got the hallmarks on it on the end. A little curious thingy-majiggy. Gold gilded button, probably going to be 17 or 1800s. But he also got the star find of the day, which is an early milled silver, and you can see the word Gavilium or Gavilimus around that side, which is William the Third. So this is William of Orange, who ruled with Mary. So I talked about this on a previous video because Paul found one last week, not in quite as good condition, which Paul was raging about, but I'm guessing that this will be silver. There will be a date on here somewhere. It's going to date to somewhere around the 1690s, I would say, I guess, but with the pouring rain I can't actually see one, but there will be one there. And in fact, there's a date there at the top. Let's say 1907. It does, I think, 1907. And then it would say Mag, Britain, France, etc., etc. Then you got another wee coin here, which is a halfpenny, but it is toasted on just make out George the 5th on this side. So it's going to date sometime in the 19-teens to the 1920s. Good find. Let's see if we can brave any more of this weather.